How's it going, everyone? It's Ben Foggins Media Corner back again with a brand new video for today. Welcome back to the movie review, aka After I Saw. This time for this new episode for the series is going to be my review on the 2022 independent live-action stop-motion animated mockumentary comedy drama film, and that is Marcel the Shell with Shoes On. Now, this is directed by Dean Fleischer, and this is his feature directorial debut, and he also wrote this movie along with Nick Paley and Jenny Slate, and it's based off the characters that was created by Dean Fleischer and Jenny Slate. And the story of the film is that we follow this shell named Marcel, voiced by Jenny Slate, whom he lives with his nanny named Connie, voiced by Isabella Rossellini. And pretty much for both Marcel and his nanny, they're the only shells that are currently living together, because for the rest of Marcel's family, they are all long lost, and they live in this big house which they used to have an actual family in it, but they mysteriously disappear until later on a guest arrives at the home, and it turns out to be a filmmaker named Dean, played by the director of this film, Dean Fleischer, and he wants to make a documentary. And so what ends up happening is that both him and Marcel, they make a short film together, and then they post it online, and it brings Marcel to millions of passionate fans, and it also brings hope to Marcel to basically help him reunite with his long lost family. So that's pretty much the story of Marcel the Shell with Shoes On. Now, I've heard a lot of people were talking about this movie when it was released last year in the US, but we didn't get this film until this year in the UK, and I was really surprised that A24 were behind this film, because this is something that I've never seen them do before, because this is a family film where it has a bit of live action and stop motion animation to it. But when it comes to A24 themselves, they're well known for making like serious works, like they've done, horror films, in which whenever it comes to any horror films they make and all that, they can be very divided amongst critics and audiences. But I do tend to enjoy the horror films they make every single year, and they've also done like serious drama films, which I do tend to enjoy the drama films they make every single year as well. And but I actually did watch the trailers for this film once after I heard a few people were talking about this movie, and I was actually looking forward to this film because it looked really amazing from what I saw and all that, from the way it was made and all that. And I didn't even know much of the people who were involved with the film and all that, like who was directing it and who was starring in it, except for Jenny Slate, whom I think she's a really talented actress, and I really loved her in movies such as Zootopia and all of that. And this film came out, like I said, last year in the US, but we didn't get this until this year in the UK, and it came out in February of this year in the UK. And I went to see this a couple days after it came out, and I saw this in a really big screening, although there wasn't that many people in the screen that I was in, unfortunately. But after watching this movie here, I got to agree with everyone what they've already said about this movie here, because I absolutely adored Marcel the Shell with Shoes On. I thought this film was absolutely wonderful here. What I really loved about this movie was the story, in which I found it really touching and yet very heartwarming at the same time, where it's basically about Marcel's adventure on trying to find his long-lost family, and how he interacts with the world that he's living in, and how he proceeds with people on the internet once he becomes famous all over the internet, and he gets like adored by millions of passionate fans. And once he sees that, he just immediately thinks that they're going to help him out and try and find his long-lost family, while in reality they're not really at all really. In which, when it came to those moments, I thought those moments were genuinely emotional. Like they get a few tears out of my eyeballs while I was watching the film here, because I really felt for Marcel so much in the film, because I really wanted him to find his long lost family in the film here. And there were other like heartfelt moments in the film as well, which I thought were also really touching as well. And they also did get a few tears out of my eyeballs as well. And this film does tend to have a bit of humor here and there in this film, in which when it came to moments like that in the film, they were genuinely funny here. And when it came to those moments as well, I just genuinely couldn't stop having a huge smile on my face as I was watching the film here, because I just really loved every single entertaining moment throughout the entire film here. And as for the direction of this film, I thought Dean Fleischer did a fantastic job directing this film here, because it's a beautiful looking film here. There's some great pieces of scenery here and there in this film, which I thought were absolutely beautiful, for like the house and all that, where Marcel lives with his nanny, which I thought all that here was just absolutely gorgeous to look at. And the animation technique for Marcel as well as his nanny in the film, I thought was absolutely amazing here, because it's stop motion animation here. And as for the acting, Jenny Slate, who voices our lead character in the film, she was amazing in the film, and I really found this character so cute and really lovable here. And again, I really felt for him so much in the film here. And I love how he interacts with any objects that he finds in the house and all that, to basically help him get to stuff and all that. Like he uses honey to basically climb up the walls and all that, which I thought all that was really clever here. And you've got Dean Fleischer in the film, who plays Dean in the film, which we never see his face in the film because he's mostly off camera, but I thought he was really good in the film, and his interaction with Marcel in the film I really adored. in the film as well. And as for Isabella Rossellini, who voices Marcel's nanny, Connie, she was also very good as well. And her interaction with Marcel was really charming for those moments as well. And the film's really well paced as well, because this film's only on for an hour and a half, and it's a good runtime, and the film just manages to play out so smoothly here once the film has just started and all of that. So overall, in the end, guys, Marcel the Shell with Shoes On, I thought this was overall a wonderful, moving film here. And if you're a fan of like these kind of like family films, or you're a fan of like A24, or you're a fan of like Jenny Slate, this is one you truly don't want to miss out for yourselves here. So that's pretty much all to say about Marcel the Shell with Shoes On. I'm going to give Marcel the Shell with Shoes On 5 out of 5. Yep, not a single issue I could pick out with this movie here, because like I said, I absolutely adored every single moment of this movie from beginning to end here. And this is definitely another one of A24's best films I've seen in recent years here. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching for my AK After I Saw review on Marcel the Shell with Shoes On. And let me know what you think of this movie if you have seen this already, or if you just recently checked out this film. Did you really adore this film, or was this not really a cup of tea? As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and this has been Falcon's Media Corner signing off.